Caleb is a quiet guy. He is very unselfish. He's one of the most unselfish people I've ever met. Caleb was diagnosed at a young age with epilepsy, like about 18 months, and when he was in about 8th grade, things got to be a lot worse with his seizures. He was definitely exhausted most of the time because of the seizures and the medicine, and he was having trouble with school.
It just kind of happens sometimes during school also, which kind of is embarrassing.
They tested him for about a week to see if he could be a candidate for surgery. He was a candidate, so we were very excited, and then we had to make the decision whether we thought that it would be beneficial for him.
I guess we can give this a try and see what happens.
So we had the surgery in July. The first surgery was when they placed grids on his brain, and we're measuring to double check to make sure that the spots of dysplasia, which is the abnormal brain tissue, making sure they were good and they would know what parts to remove. 8 days later, then he had the resection surgery where they removed a pretty good portion of his left frontal lobe and then removed other parts of his brain.
The part of the brain that they took out was about the size of like a tangerine. I mean, I've been good, but it's basically filled up with water in there now.
Had about 4 days of recovery, and that was probably the hardest part of the whole time, recovering from the second surgery, because he did have a little bit of motor issues with his right side. He could still walk, but his hand and arm were not doing as well. He also had lost speech, so the ability to form speech. He knew speech, he just didn't have the motor planning of speech.
I couldn't say my name, I couldn't say my mom's name, I couldn't say my dad's name, I couldn't say like anything. It took about a few months to get there.
We had the neurology team, which was more focused on his seizures and the epilepsy part of it and what part of the brain was causing the seizures to happen. They worked along greatly with Dr. Tai, who was his neurosurgeon, and he did a fantastic job of setting the grids for the first surgery and then removing the sections of the brain in the second surgery. I remember Dr. Seinfeld saying that she would go to sleep at night and see his EEG waves in her head because she had studied them so much, trying to figure out what would be the parts that would be the best to remove to help him be more successful and be seizure-free.
It seems like I haven't had a seizure in maybe over a year now. I do intend to go to college. I'm still looking, but my top pick would be probably Longwood. I think my major would probably have to be history, and of course my minor would be theater. I've been in theater since 6th grade basically. Sometimes when I do theater, I can be a different person. I like to see different perspectives.
He was very motivated to be seizure-free because he was getting close to the age of driving.
I got my learner's permit in July. I've been driving around for a while now, and soon I'll take behind the wheel, probably next year, which is good.
Caleb, I know, has always known that he'll do big things. Even though he's a quiet guy, he has that determination, and he has gone through a very huge obstacle in his life and succeeded.
If I hadn't done the surgery, then I could have been somewhere else and not on stage performing or doing show choir. So that really has changed my life.